My name is Vish Iyer. I was born and raised in India until I was out of high school, and my dad decided to send me over to the U.S. to study engineering, and his philosophy was education really is something that is going to get you far ahead in your life, and since he didn't have any, he decided that I ought to go make myself a little more useful. He sent me to New Mexico State University. That's where I first came to when I came to this country, and I was a mechanical engineering student. And it was interesting. I remember coming into this country with about $1,000 in my pocket. That was it. And because the government restricted what you could take out of the country, and so on and so forth, and times are different, because when I first got here, my entire semester's tuition, room and board, dormitory, and food was about $800. And I worked in the summertime, and I actually had 3 jobs in the summer. I went to Chicago, and I started working. My first job started at 7:30 in the morning until about 4, and then I came downtown Chicago from Pulaski and Irving Park, and then worked for another 3 hours in the evening phone call service, and they were actually trying to sell services to store your winter coat in the summertime, and so I had to call everyone in Chicago as they decided where the call should go, and then I called. They had a little script for me, and they basically said, you read the script, and let's see what happens, how many people you can get to subscribe to our service. And I remember one phone call that I made, this nice lady on the other end, she says, hello, and I said, my name is Vish Iyer, and I work for Stratford Fur Company. The next thing she said was, young man, if I had a gun, I would come over there and shoot you. And I said, whoa, that's an interesting answer. And I said, normally people would have given up. Me, I said, I want to know why she said it. That's really one of the things that I learned a long time ago, asking why. And she said, last year you took my coat, winter coat, and your service was $25, and you ended up charging me $100. You folks are cheaters, and you are not telling us the truth. So I said, you know what, young lady, let me see what I can do for you. And then I went and talked to my supervisor, and I said, her service this time should be free. And she was the happiest person in the world, because we got to do something for her. Right now I am in the, they hired me in the marketing department, and I still am in the department, and then I'm probably one of the oldest faculty members in the tenure-wise in the College of Business, and it's been a wonderful journey for me. It's been a good journey. I've had the good fortune of working with a number of great people, and that have directed this college from a non-accredited degree mill to a well set up set of programs in marketing, management, entrepreneurship, finance, accounting, information systems, and now we have RTH as part of our college. So this is really a tremendous growth pattern that we have experienced over the past 37 years, 38 years, and it's really been a good journey for us. The first thing to know is that if you do decide to get a degree from a four-year institution, it is quite a change from the high school setup coming into a four-year institution. And so first of all, my suggestion would be make sure you are ready to come to a university and be able to take the responsibilities that go with it. And that's number one. And anybody can go get a degree from any university, but why should they come here to UNC? It's a very simple answer. We try and make you the best you can be in whatever it is that you are going to do. In other words, we are here to help you as an individual be better as a professional. That's really our goal. And as long as we can achieve that with your cooperation, you're going to be successful. It's really that simple. So my suggestion would be to really keep an open mind and be flexible with your time and energy, etc. And then let us help you be your best when you come here.
I like this.
That would be it. Golf is really a sport that is very addictive when you get into it. Okay? It reflects your life if you really think about it. Okay? Because the first time I tried to hit the golf ball, which was sitting on the floor with a little paddle, and it took me 4 attempts to hit the ball. And I said, why is this so difficult? Because I played badminton in my college days, I played table tennis, I played racquetball, I played squash. And here the ball was coming at me at 20, 30, 40, 50 miles an hour, and I had no trouble hitting it back. Then all of a sudden I come to this golf, this little ball is sitting on the ground, and it took me 4 attempts to hit it with my club. I said, I'm not going to let this particular sport defeat me. And that's when I said, I want to make sure that I want to know how this thing works. And that's how it started for me in golf. Because it was something that, I could have walked away and said, heck, I don't want this particular sport because it's too difficult. But I'm not that kind of a person. I want to really do something that when people say I can't do it, I want to try and do it. That's just the way it is. So it's part of life. And to me, golf is really, really that. It humbles you in more ways than not. And humbles you in the sense that it teaches you some interesting lessons. And if you really think about golf itself, it's got ups and downs, just like life. Now, sometimes you can hit that ball like the best thing that you ever did, but then the next time you try it, it just goes all over the place. It's really a game that reflects the nature of what life is. It's a process. And you learn from it. Every time you play golf, you learn something different. And there is no such thing as perfection in golf. So it humbles you. It really does. And if you think you know it all, you ought to try golf. And it will bring you down to earth so fast it wouldn't even be funny. Because that's what it is. It's a game that you are playing primarily against yourself. Even though there are competitors in the field, it is what you do that matters, not what they do. And that's how it creates discipline in you. And that's why I like golf. Like I say, I play racquetball, squash, all those kinds of things, the racket sport. But golf, to me, really is a humbling game. Golf golf is also a sport where you can be one with nature because you're outside, and if you really, it's good exercise because if you walk 18 holes, you're walking close to 6.5, 7 miles. And that's pretty good exercise. Okay? And at the same time, you are one with nature. You can socialize because normally you play with 2 or 3 other people, which means that you can talk about just about any subject that you want to talk about, and really and really concentrate on the game when you need to. And golf is a very, very strategic game. Just as an example, if I stand on the tee box on a par 4 golf hole, what I think about is, where do I want my third shot to be? Because my goal is to par the hole. And in order to par the hole, I want to know where my third shot needs to be. That tells me where my second shot needs to be. That tells me what I need to hit off the tee box. And you see, and that is how you work backwards, and that's what it is in life. What are your goals? You have to persist, because the first time you try golf, there's going to be lots of frustrations. It's easy to say, I don't like it, and I want to walk away from it. Okay, but the thing is, how resilient and persistent are you to achieve your goal? And that's what golf teaches you. See, to me, recreation is an escape for me. When I say it's an escape, you got lots of mundane things happening in your life, and some things frustrate you more than heck, and the other things make you happy. And there comes a time when you say, hey, I want to step away from this. And that's what recreation allows you to do. It allows you to be yourself outside the environment, so in the environment, but outside your mundane, routine things. And there are many, many ways that people use recreation. You can jog, you can meditate, you can do yoga, you can play golf, you can play racquetball, you can play frisbee golf, you can go fishing, you can go the recreation comes in so many different forms, but it's an escape from something that's mediocre. You want to get away from some things from time to time. So that's what recreation allows you to do. It allows you to be yourself in a different setting. And you can forget everything else. And you can just be with yourself. Golf is, to me, practicing some inner calmness if you will let it do it. You can't get too excited about it. Because, that's the difference between an amateur like me who plays golf for recreation and a professional who plays golf for a living. And you can see that they spend a lot more time on perfecting their profession, and yet are not totally successful all the time. It teaches them a lesson that it is something that you do to make a living, but things can go wrong, and that's okay. That's okay. And we all know that perfection is something you always try to get or achieve, but there is no perfection anywhere. We're all guilty of doing things in different ways, and we've done things wrong, and then we learn from it. And golf is the biggest teacher because it teaches you to be humble. And that's what recreation is. I know joggers will get into a zone and then just keep running and running and running and running. They never stop. You see, in the same way, when you get into this recreation mode, you are free. It allows you to be yourself in whatever form or fashion. That's what I love about recreation. And there is no limit to it. you can choose the extent to which you want to put your energy into it. And when you do that, it is the greatest feeling in the world. And we need to do more of that.
Perfect. Thanks for watching another episode of Wreck Yourself. I'm your host, James Gould. I'm Professor of Tourism Management at the University of Northern Colorado. I hope we've inspired you to explore. And of course, feel free to check out the links below for specific information on recreation resources, our guests, and our partners. Also, be sure to hit like and subscribe. Until we see you next time, be sure to wreck yourself.